I refuse to give up my wedding money to help fund my stepbrother's cancer treatment. I have a rocky relationship with my dad and his new wife, Karen. My mom died when I was 12 and my dad remarried when I was 14. From the start, Karen makes it clear that her two boys, Hans 29M and John 26M, need to come first, and my dad obliged. When I was 16, I finally move out after a big fight. Karen sold my mom's grand piano, stating we don't use it much. My mom loves music and piano. I love them too. That piano is a way for us to bond when she was still alive. I always play that piano when I miss my mom or when I fought with anyone in that family. It was one of the only mom's possessions that didn't immediately go missing when Karen moved in. My dad was shielding Karen from my anger, and I told him that he was a horrible father. My stepbrothers jumped in, saying that my father is the best dad they could ask for. I told them they were not my father's actual kids and that we are not family. Karen cried when she heard that, and I can see that my dad got hurt by my words. I felt guilty and was about to apologize, but John Sucker punched me on my face. I fell on my back and he proceeded to kick my stomach. Hans tried to hold John, but John still get a few good hits. Meanwhile, my dad decided to run after Karen instead. I packed up my things and stayed at my uncle's until I was 20 to move in with my BF at the time. Not once my dad tried to reach out to me. I heard from a cousin that my dad practically disowned me at a family reunion, saying that the boys are the only children he has. I met my current fiancé, 29M, when I was 23, and he proposed recently. We saved up some money for the wedding, but not anything big. However, my uncles from my mother's side chime in and give me money in honor of my mother. I wanted to save it, but they told me to have a grand wedding and be the most important person that day, which mean a lot after years of my wants being ignored. The wedding got upgraded by lot. I invited my grandparent and some cousins from my dad's side. Suddenly, after more than a decade, Dad contacted me. He didn't ask to be invited or apologize or anything. He just heard I'm doing a big wedding and decided to ask for money. I frankly was disgusted by his audacity and lack of remorse. He asked for $12,000. I told him I'm sorry about John's condition, but I'm not giving him $12,000 and to not contact me again. The next day, Karen blew up my phone, calling me selfish and entitled. My cousin told me that Dad and Karen goes to every single relative's house, including my grandparent, that night and told them to not come to my wedding or they will cut them off. My cousins didn't care, but my grandparents are stressing out over this. Some relatives think I should downgrade the wedding and give Dad some money so my grandparents can come without worries. Frankly speaking, I don't even have half the money they ask for. Yes, the wedding cost around $16,000, but a lot of that money comes from my uncles given to me for this specific reason, emphasized by them, so I don't think I should use it for something else. What do I do? Should I give them the money my uncle gave me? More context on my relationship with everyone before I move out. Dad, deteriorating as I constantly beg him to take my side. Karen, bad because she would throw away or sell my mom's possession and pictures, trying to erase her existence. Hans, civil, he is one of those people that prefer not getting involved in any problem. He doesn't help me but doesn't fight me either. I guess apathy could also describe him. John, bad because he would pull pranks and sometimes it got physical. He is also the type that would punch a wall when angry, so I stayed away from him most of the time. After I move out, of course, all the relationships worsen. TLDR, my dad disowned me, then hears about my big wedding and asks me for $12,000 to help fund the cancer treatment for the stepbrother who beats me up. Asterisk edit, adding info. People are asking if my grandparents know about the assault I endure. The answer is not yet. When I moved out, I run to Mom's side of the family because I know for sure that they will take my side, no buts or saying he is your dad, BS. My dad and Karen told everyone he disowned me because I lashed out at Karen with no reason, verbally abused my dad when he tries to de-escalate the situation, and then run away. My dad's family is very hush-hush about family matters and would talk behind the person and not to the person. Horrible, I know, but human. Except for my cousin, the same one from the story, let's call her Jane so I don't have to refer to her as only my cousin again, and her family, dad, mom, little brother. They are curious and not afraid to ask, so they asked me to explain my side the second my dad disowned me. Jane and her family might have told others, but honestly, I don't know and don't care if they know back then. As far as why I don't talk about it. Well, first, the extended relatives, including my grandparents, never ask, so it feels weird if I just talk about it. Second, when I just move out and everything, pain, exhaustion, sadness, felt fresh, I just wanted to escape and don't want to deal with dad and stepfamily. So I felt like if I defend myself and tell my story, I am just inviting them to argue with me, and I do not want that, so I stay silent and let people believe what they want. If they want my side, then I'll tell them, if not, then let it be. Third, I do not know how they will accept that story. Will they believe me? Will they tell me that I overreacted? They would never tell me that to add, it's just in my head, so as a teenager with low self-esteem, I decided not to speak. If you all ask, why don't you talk as an adult then? Simple, because I forgot about it. It's been more than a decade and I tried to heal from that. I don't tell myself every day about the bad things that happened to me. I simply move on and live my life. The only reason this become relevant is because I want to provide context on why I despise John and what causes my family to drift apart. I would give my dad's family a bit of credit actually in terms of this. Even though dad and stepfamily paint me as the one in the wrong, they still reach out to me and support me here and there. They should have asked my side, but hey, my family works like that and there's nothing I can do about it. Update 1. Hi everyone. First of all, thank you for the support and kind words. I'm sorry I cannot reply to everyone, it gets overwhelming, in a good way of course, after a while. Even with this issue, I am still excited about my wedding. I plan to update everyone after it, but I feel like I owe you guys an update after what happened recently. So, my dad calls me again this afternoon. Against my better judgment, I answered. Surprisingly, he was nice and said he just wanted to talk. I got carried away and basically confronted him on everything that has happened in the past, the lack of support, the assault I had to endure, and the fact that he turned his back on me. He apologizes and clarifies some things. He said that he never realized my mom's possession is missing because he is not that attentive. The grand piano, however, caught him by surprise too. He said he was planning to have a stern talk with Karen, but I was already screaming, so his priority was to separate us. He said I looked like I was getting physical, so that is why he got between us. I asked why he didn't defend me when John punched me. He said he was chasing Karen and didn't see it happening or me on the floor. I could have sworn he saw me laying there, but I might be wrong, so I didn't argue. He also said he did try to find me when I ran away, but none of his family members know where I am. He said he didn't reach out to my mom's side of the family because they cut him off when dad marries Karen. He just assumes I am safe under my uncle's care and leaves it at that. I told him I could have died in the ditch and he agrees, saying he has no excuse for that. I asked him about the disowning part and once again he is sorry and said it was because of anger and Karen's poisonous words. I asked him where he got my number and he said Nana, Grandma, gave it to him. He said she told him to make up with me and see if I would let him walk me down the aisle. So, he tried to contact me about that. I asked why he didn't apologize then, or at the very least try to ask how am I doing. He said he was too prideful to apologize, but he said he did have a friendly chat with me. I was thinking about this the entire day and I guess he did try to be friendly, but I chalked it up to him trying to build a relationship with me so I'll feel bad and give him money. I asked why he asked me for money then and he said he was desperate. He said he has been asking everyone to contribute, but it is not enough. He heard from Karen that my aunt said my wedding was big. Karen thinks it would probably cost $100,000 plus. I don't know where she got that number, and told him to ask if I'm willing to contribute since $12,000 is a small percentage of that. I didn't tell him what the cost of my wedding would be, but I said that $12,000 is more than half my budget and much has been deposited to the vendors. He said he is sorry for assuming. I also confronted him about him emotionally blackmailing everyone so they wouldn't come to my wedding. He said the way I responded before sounded condescending and insulting. I was disgusted, so my voice might portray that, so he got really angry. He throws Karen under the bus, saying Karen feeds his anger and pushes him to do what he did. He apologized for that and said he chewed Karen out afterward for even suggesting isolating me from everyone. I asked him if his threats still stand, and he said not anymore. Everyone can come if they want to and he won't interfere. However, he begs me to help with John's cancer treatment if I can. He said what happened in the past cannot be changed, and I have every right to be angry about that. Yet, he said John has grown to be a better man and deserves a second chance. He said I can give him any amount of money and he would be grateful. I said I would think about it, and he said thank you. I was laying in my bed, unable to sleep and thinking about the conversation. Right now, I plan to give $1,000 from my own savings account, separate from my wedding and honeymoon, to him and call it a day. Before doing that, I wanted to consult both my fiancé and uncle first though, to see if they think it's the right thing to do. Well, at least my grandparents can come without worries now. Hopefully, this is the end of all of the drama. Final update. Hey everyone! This is quicker than I expected, but I just want to say, my decision is final. No one from that family is getting a penny. Hans reached out to me through a throwaway account used /12,000 Hans. I confirm his identity, he knows Karen's, John's, Dad's, and my real name, and he knows what I look like. He said he tried to post a comment under this post twice, but I didn't get a notification, so I don't know if Reddit is being weird. But the important part is Hans told me everything. That man lied. I will not refer to him as Dad anymore because he doesn't deserve that title. Hans confirmed that the man saw me on the floor and still chased after Karen. That man lies about trying to find me after I ran away. Hans said no attempt had ever been made by him. That man lies about John being a better man. He is a man baby leeching off that man and Karen. That man tried to manipulate me and it almost works. As per the last updates, that man takes back his threat and everyone can come. So I will use the $1,000 I was about to give them and make a matching outfit for anyone on my paternal side who RSVPs for the wedding. I am going to take a picture and make it into a Christmas card and send it to everyone on that side of the family, including them of course. Oh yeah, I will definitely tell them everything before the RSVP deadline to let them know what a horrid human being that man and the stepfamily from hell have been to me. The assault, the lies, and the manipulation, all of it. Lastly, thank you all of you wonderful human beings. I am shaking out of anger and relief right now. I am angry that once again I almost put myself second to people who never appreciated me. I am relieved that this finally ends and I don't have to waste my energy thinking about this anymore. Love you all. Goodbye.